Top 10 cards from the Legends Magic the Gathering expansion. Let's go. This set introduced multicolor cards and is chock full of reserve list cards. You can also find these cards stuffed into Dominaria United collector boosters. So it's actually going to be in 2 different sets now. But let's get started. Number 10, NICOL BOLAS. This big baddie is the only one on our list that's not in the reserve list, but he is essential to Magic the Gathering's lore. He is the quintessential bad guy, and he's sought after, even though he's been reprinted. It's always nice to have the original, so he made it to number 10 on our list. Number 9 is Living Plane, and it's the first reserve list card on our list, and it makes the game quite interesting. It turns all the lands into creatures, making them easy for anybody to remove that's playing. It also slows down the game, making them not be able to be tapped for mana on the turn that they come in. It's also a card that's worth about $580 on the market price right now, so it's not a bad pull. Number 8, Mirror Universe. And again, all the rest of these on this list are reserve list cards, so they're up there in price because they can't be reprinted. And this card lets you swap life totals during your upkeep with another player. Number 7 is Eureka. This wizard just learned energy mass equivalents from a glowworm, so I'd be shouting Eureka too. This card opens up some surprisingly political interactions where you and an opponent take turns putting down permanents until one of you decides not to. Number 6, All Hallows' Eve has some quirky illustration by the man himself, Christopher Rush, and it's a mass graveyard recursion tool. So it hits the number 6 spot, and let's move into the 5 where we start getting into the real high dollar cards. The Abyss coming in at number 5. It's a global enchantment that buries non-artifact creatures during upkeeps. So it keeps sucking all the creatures into the Abyss itself. Plus, its market price right now is $1,100. Number 4 is Nether Void, and talk about slowing the game down. This card can disrupt all sorts of strategies by countering any spell unless an additional 3 is played. Moat, number 3. No taxes, just anything that can't fly can attack. Plus, we've hit the $1,500 mark. Number 2, and this one's a little harder to say than the last one, Chains of Mephistopheles. It's not just an iconic card. It's brutal against draw strategies and for hand control. I know plenty of people with this on their wish list, but if they were to pull the trigger and buy it, it bounces around between $1,600 and $2,000. Okay, at this point you probably know what number 1 is, but you may be a little miffed that your cards didn't make the numbered list. So we have some honorable mentions here. We got Angus, Tim the Sorcerer, Monodrain that just got a reprint, even though it's a stellar card, Divine Intervention, and In the Eye of Chaos. So like many of these Legends cards, they're just a dream for Stacks players or anybody looking to change up the game. You guessed it, number 1 is the Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale. It's tax, it's creature destruction, it's everything you want in a land. So you can't even counter it, and it's tough to remove, and it has a whopping cost of $3,300 market value. Thanks for following along the top 10 cards from Legends. We'll see you next time, and don't you dare think about subscribing. We're a bunch of completionists and exclusionists, so we don't want you to subscribe to our channel anyways. But if you do, we'll see you next time.